The fun thing about Cool Kid is, for me, there's lines in there that I don't think people necessarily even recognize until they maybe sit down with it and then read the lyrics and go, oh, really, that's what he's saying? And they're kind of, it takes a second to process a couple of them, I think, at least. There's the obvious lines, and then there's the ones like aspartame, I like the buzzing in my brain, Reagan is coming for you. It's like, well, what is that, you know? Aspartame eats holes in your brain, and it causes cancer, and it causes Alzheimer's. And so anyhow, there's a whole lot of metaphor there. To have a happy, joyous melody with dark, brooding lyrics that are, quote unquote, maybe not so happy, to me adds to the irony. The way we create is through trial and error, and being, I think, the most, at least for me as a writer, the hardest thing to get over is, you know, your fear of failure. You have to just accept that that's part of the process. And once you do, it makes writing, at least it did for me, it made writing a lot more fluent and easy.
If you look back to some of like these bands in the 60s and 70s, and especially like the late 60s, early 70s, everybody that was in a band was really, really good at their instruments and stuff like that, and they played really well together. And like the obvious examples are things like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that, but they had a front man. And I don't know if they necessarily thought of that dynamic. I don't know if the bass player or the drummer were even thinking about it, but they were killing it on their instruments.
Every member was generally recognizable. Like, it was Page and Plant, and then there was Bonham and John Paul Jones, and, you know, there was Page and Plant were kind of like the front unit, and then the other two were the other unit, but they were equally as important in some strange way, and they were equally as recognized as well. But, you know, we're also talking about some of the greatest bands of all time, you know? Yeah. So there's lots of things that have worked in the past. And for us, this band came together in a very natural way. The songs came together very naturally. And we all kind of fell into our roles very naturally.
But everyone just kind of takes their role, and I don't think anything's like forced in that sense. Sure. Of like a front man, you know? It's right. Like, I'm the bass player. I play the bass, and I want to play the bass. I'm not doing it because I have to play the bass, that kind of thing.
And everybody's very fulfilled with what they're doing in the band, and I think that's very important, and that's not contrived at all. That is just, I mean, that's just luck in a weird way.